Greetings everyone. Hope y'all doing well today. So I got a letter in the mail. Now there's a song in the army that says, got a letter in the mail, go to war or go to jail. But it ain't that kind of letter. Nah. This letter is the second letter I got in my life where I actually paid off for my vehicle. There it is. Title, HRV is mine. But I have some plans. Plan on doing a little upgrade. We'll talk about that later. So my first car I paid off for was a Honda Civic. And I think I found a picture. Yeah, I think this is the picture of me looking at that last bill and thinking about what should I do next? Do I plan on driving this thing till the wheel fall off? Or I'm gonna do a little upgrade? Because you know, once the car gets high in mileage, it starts to give you a little problem. So what I did was I actually paid off that car and I drove it. Of course, my family members tease me, mainly my dad and my brother, asking me if I'm gonna drive it till the wheel fall off. And I say, you got that right. I done paid all this money into this car and I plan on doing just that. And I almost literally drove it till the wheel fell off, because the last thing I did to it, the guy said the steering column mechanism under the hood was falling apart. And if I keep driving it like it is, eventually it's just gonna bust off and the wheel's gonna fall off, because also the bearings and all that stuff that hold the wheel onto the vehicle itself was about to fall off too. It was about to pretty much deteriorate. And I probably would have seen my wheel just rolling down the street and I'm still stopping at the light, if you know, for instance. So to be honest with you, I literally drove that green Honda Civic till the wheel fell off. Basically. Not literally, but basically. So it was a good feeling when I paid that off, and I got about 256,000 miles on it. I mean, literally about 40 something miles away from 300,000. So I got my money's worth. It was a 1996 Honda Civic, and I literally sold that thing for 800. I almost got, well, initially I was trying to get 1,500 out of it, because at the time Kelly Blue Book said I could get the highest amount. So I said, well, let me start high and work my way down, negotiate. So I end up bringing it back down to 1,000, and eventually somebody from another state said they was going to drive down and get it. I got a couple of out-of-state offer, and some of them was kind of ridiculous. One guy said that he would just pick it up for me if I want to donate it, and I'm like, no, I got to get something out of this. I mean, I was willing to actually depart from it for the lowest, maybe 500. But I try to go the max and then work your way down. But if I really and truly wanted to get rid of it, I would have taken 500, to be honest with you. But I did some work on it, because I did fix the steering column, and I decided to fix the axle, because I figure if I'm gonna sell it, why not make it as safe as I can make it be. Plus I drove it for a little time after that, after I got it fixed, so I still get a little bit more out of it as far as my worth. So the guy from another state in Kentucky drove down and decided to bring the vehicle. He was paying cash, and he literally brought me a cashier check. Went up to get the title notarized and handed over to him. He took it for a test drive to make sure everything is fine. And I said, man, I've been keeping up with the maintenance. I replaced the clutch. I replaced the radiator. Timing belt was done at least 2 times. I'm thinking 3. And distributor cap, spark plugs, I did myself. Oil, I did myself. Well, sometimes I took it to the place to get the oil change. The brakes, I did myself. And any other maintenance that needed to get done, I actually had it done, because that's the way I am with vehicles. I make sure they stay up to date and not too much problems, because I don't want to be broken down on the road. I want my car to always run and start when I get into it. So I kept up with all the maintenance. And now, same thing I'm doing for this one I have right now. Now I have a Honda HRV 2016. So I don't know what's up with this 6. You know, it was 1996 and then 2016. Just coincident. It wasn't planned. So when I got this one, you know, I said, I didn't plan on keeping it as long as I did with the Civic because I had an agenda. I was trying to work on my Tesla. I said, you know what? In 5 years, I want to get me an electric car, which is my Tesla. Now, I'm at the point where I can actually get the Tesla if I want to, because if I sell this Honda right now, I would get roughly, let's see, about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, I would say 2 weeks ago, I called the bank and I asked them for a payoff amount. So they gave it to me and then I paid off the loan, and they told me in about 10 to 15 days they was gonna mail me the title, which, let me get it again. Here it is. It's actually in my hand, so this is no joke. Okay, side note. So when you get a loan to get a vehicle, the vehicle becomes the collateral for the loan. So therefore, if you don't pay back the loan, they can grab the car and try to recoup as much of that loan they can to bring that money that they loan you in the first place. But it's a bad thing if they repossess the loan. So you never want to get a repossession because that hurts your credit big time, and you become very leery on anybody else that tried to give you a loan. So you end up going to the buy here, pay a lot, and then you just ruin your credit even more. So try not to get into something too deep that you can't afford. I know a lot of people like the style and profile, you know, want to get that dream car. I've had family members that was driving much better car than me. I mean, I'm driving this little green Civic, but I wasn't going to try to put myself in deeper debt to drive as fancy as they were. Now I'm at the point in my life where I've worked myself up to where I can get what I really want. But that takes time. You know, some people can't take the time. They want to have it now. But that stuff gets you in trouble. So my advice is get what you can afford and drive it and treat it as an A and B and back to A kind of vehicle, so you can get back and forth. And once you get to that point in your life where you either get more money or you're doing side jobs or whatever you're doing, you have to do whatever you do extra. I mean, if you don't increase your salary on a yearly basis, then you have to figure out other things to do to pay for things that you want. All right, so that's a little side note. All right, so if you're trying to pay off your loan, good luck to you, and just keep on paying off. You know what I mean? Oh, and one last thing. I know that I said that was my last note, but if you want to get a smaller payment, but you're going to be paying more interest, then go for the long-term one. They like the 72 months. I know they got 84 months and 96 months. That's to get a smaller payment. Now, don't wait all that time to pay out the loan. Don't go the length of that time, I should say. Try to pay it off early. You're trying to get the lower payment is going to be high interest if you make it the longest time as possible. The interest goes up and the payment is higher the shorter the loan. So if you got a 48 months, you're going to pay more, but you get a lower interest. But like I said, you go for the long-term loan, the 72, 84, 96, whatever you want to go for. But during that time frame, try to either save up or double up. Now you want to, if you're doubling up or you're trying to do a lump sum, make sure you contact them and let them know you want to pay on the principal, so they don't dump a lot of that into the interest. So some of those tricks you have to do. But the best thing to do is save as you go and create a lump sum, because that's what I did. I built up a lump sum to make that final big payment and just wipe out the loan completely. So that's the best thing to do. So while you're paying your regular payment, monthly payment, the low rate, take that money, extra money that you could find, or save up, and you have to do whatever you have to do, side jobs, whatever, and dump it into a saving account and let it sit there. When you get to a comfortable point where you can take all that money you've been saving up to pay off the loan, then make a move and dump that money into that loan to just wipe it out. All right, so I hope that advice helped, because that's what I did, and it worked for me, and it might work for you. It all depends on your situation. But anyway, since I got the title now, the bank don't own it and I own it, because a lot of people don't realize they think they own their car when they drive it off the lot. The bank got ownership to that. That's why they can come and repossess it whenever they feel like, because they still own it. Once you get that loan paid off, I should say, or you buy the car cash and they give you that piece of paper, you own it. You can do whatever you want to do with it. The only thing you got to do is pay the tag to keep it on the road legally and insurance, but nobody can take it away from you. Nobody can come and repossess that from me. You know what I mean? The only way I get that sucker towed is if I did some illegal parking, but I'm not planning on doing all that. But anyway, like I said, it feels good to paid off 2 cars in my lifetime, and I'm going down the road again to make a move because it's something I desire. I still want to get my Tesla, but I think I'm gonna make a small detour before I go after my Tesla. Then once I get in a more convenient situation, then I will definitely get my Tesla then. But right now I'm just going to take a small detour because, let me go back to the amount. So with the amount that I paid off and what the car is valued right now, I can get about an extra $5,000. Yeah, about an extra $5,000 if I decide to sell it cash. Because a good thing about Hondas, they keep their value real high. I mean, I was surprised that my Civic at the time when I was trying to sell it still had about $1,500 I can still get on it with all that high mileage on it. So not too many cars on the road that have that many mileage you're going to get that much out of it. Pretty much you donate it or you just take whatever you can get out of it. But it still had good value in it via Kelley Blue Book. So like I say, I'm gonna make a different move. So you'll find out. If you stick to this channel, you'll see when that time comes. But now that I know I can actually sell it and get above the value of my loan, so I wasn't upside down on the loan. The car didn't worth more than the loan itself. Well, I mean, the car didn't have less value than the loan itself. That's what I meant to say. So it was worth more. And every once in a while, the price get adjusted. So it might say it's worth $12,000. Then I think I went to Honda like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they said my car was in high demand that year, that model, all that stuff, and they were willing to give me an extra $1,000 on the trade-in value, an extra $1,000. But I decided that I'm not going with another Honda. I'm a Honda man, but it's time to branch off and try other things. The Tesla was my branching off, but since I'm not getting the Tesla right now, I'm gonna branch off into another area, and I will reveal it when that time comes. I already start the ball rolling as far as getting that particular vehicle. So when that time comes, you'll see. So anyway, I just wanted to make this video because I came home and I saw that letter, and I was a big smile on the face to see that I got the title, finally. I know it was on the way and it's just a matter of time, but every evening I come home, I look, nothing. Junk mail, all kind of weird stuff, sales paper, but no title. So when I walk in the door today and I look down, because the mailman shoot my mail through that mail slot, so it ended up being all over the floor when I get home. And I looked down and I saw USAA, which is the company that, the bank I should say, that I got my loan through, and who has my insurance and everything else. When I saw that, I flipped it over, and right there in front, it said title. I'm like, all right, got it. The Honda HRV is mine. So it's all good. I really wonder if that person who has the car now, if they're still driving it, are they still getting all that mileage out of it? It is still running like a train, because that car was running like a train. I've had some incidents in that car, but that's another story for another time. So, all right, so I'm gonna end it there. I want to thank you for tuning in to these stories that I'm telling. I got the title and I just felt good, like I had to share it with you. All right, so have a good one, stay safe, and see you next time.
Thanks. You too.
Interesting. She just had to butt into my video. All right, you have a good one.